I stepped outside with my beer, looking for a quiet spot by the pool to enjoy the warm evening. The garden was beautiful, filled with colorful umbrellas and sunburned tourists relaxing in their swimsuits. In the pool, a group of young people splashed and laughed loudly, tossing a rubber ball back and forth. The girls sounded English, probably hotel guests, while the boys had American accents. I guessed they were sailors from the ship that had docked that morning. I found an empty chair under a purple umbrella and settled in, watching the cheerful chaos in the water. The Americans were diving under and playfully grabbing the girls by their ankles, everyone enjoying themselves. Then I noticed a small, elderly man walking briskly around the pool's edge. He wore an expensive cream suit and white hat, and his eyes scanned the area carefully. He stopped beside me and smiled politely. I smiled back and gestured for him to sit down. He checked the chair before sitting and crossing his legs elegantly. We exchanged pleasantries about the lovely weather. His accent seemed Italian or Spanish, though I suspected he was from North America. He appeared to be around 70 years old. He glanced at the noisy swimmers with mild distaste, commenting that only Americans could make such a racket. Just then, one of the young sailors approached with an English girl beside him. They were dripping wet and asked if the chairs were free. We told them to go ahead. The sailor pulled out a pack of cigarettes from his towel and offered them around. I accepted one, but the old man declined, saying he preferred cigars. As he prepared his cigar, the young sailor offered him a light with his lighter. The old man studied the lighter with sudden interest and asked if it always worked reliably. The sailor confidently claimed it never failed. That's when the old man's eyes lit up with a strange excitement. He proposed they make a bet on whether the lighter would work 10 times in a row. The sailor laughed nervously, agreeing to bet $10. But the old man had something far more dramatic in mind. He explained that he was a wealthy man and wanted to make things interesting. If the lighter worked 10 times without fail, the sailor would win his Ferrari parked outside. The sailor's smile faded as he asked what would happen if he lost. The old man replied calmly that he would take the little finger on the sailor's left hand. The atmosphere grew tense. The sailor tried to laugh it off, but the old man persisted, making him feel cowardly for backing down. Finally, the sailor's pride got the better of him, and he agreed. The English girl protested, and I expressed my discomfort. But the old man was already leading us to his hotel room, insisting I serve as referee. We stopped briefly to admire the red Ferrari gleaming in the fading light. In the old man's room, he poured drinks and sent the maid to fetch a hammer, nails, and a butcher's knife. When she returned with the items, my stomach turned. The old man worked methodically, hammering 2 nails into the writing desk and positioning a chair beside it. He instructed the sailor to place his left hand between the nails, then tied it firmly in place with string. The sailor's hand was secure, though his fingers could still move. The old man told him to make a fist with only his little finger extended. Standing beside the table, the old man raised the knife high above the sailor's finger. The room fell silent, except for our breathing. I asked if everyone was ready, and when they confirmed, I gave the signal to begin. The sailor flicked open his lighter, and a small flame appeared. I counted aloud. He closed the top, waited a few seconds, then opened it again. The flame appeared once more. This continued steadily through 7 attempts. The tension was unbearable. The old man stood motionless with the knife raised, his eyes fixed on the lighter. The sailor prepared for the 8th attempt. I held my breath as the flame appeared again. Just as I said 8, the door burst open. A small blonde woman rushed in, shouting in Italian. She grabbed the knife from the old man's hand and shook him violently, scolding him in rapid Italian before switching to English. She apologized profusely, explaining that she had left him alone for just 10 minutes while getting her hair done. The woman told us this wasn't the first time. Back home, her husband had taken 48 fingers from different people and lost 12 cars through these bets. The authorities had threatened to institutionalize him, which is why she had brought him here. She explained that the Ferrari wasn't even his to bet, because she had won everything from him long ago. It had taken years, but she had eventually claimed all his possessions through similar wagers. As she spoke, I noticed her hand resting on the table. My blood ran cold. That hand had only a thumb and 1 finger. Everything else was gone. The room fell silent as we all stared at those missing fingers, understanding finally dawning on us. The old man sat quietly on the bed, looking small and defeated, while his wife stood over him. The victor of the cruelest game of all.